Hello guys, in this video I want to just quickly compare the two very different GPS units from Garmin for very specific purpose. Now, a couple weeks ago I got the GPSMap 66sr multi-band in hope that I could use this as my dedicated cycling computer, while at the same time maybe go out to the trails near my home and then do some hiking activities using the same GPS as well. And the problem is when I'm out and doing my cycling, I discovered that the GPSMap 66sr, while it's excellent at giving very accurate GPS signal and very fast GPS acquiring speed, because of its multi-band setup, and it's recording all the cycling activities, perfectly fine. However, it's actually lacking quite a lot of features that's very specific to cycling. And that is the reason this will be the last video I'm going to be making with the GPSMap 66sr, because I just sold it to someone else who could actually put this into better use. The 66sr, again, as I mentioned, it can do cycling recordings, and it actually does have a cycling profile set up in the machine. And also it's got navigation turn by turn purposes as well on the road. The thing is, the support for cycling specific features are lacking, and I'll show you guys in a little bit on the screen as well. There are some other kind of important features for cycling where this machine, this GPS unit just cannot record, while on the Edge 1030 Plus, it's actually recording all those kind of important cycling features as well. And on top of that, the Edge 1030 Plus supports a cycling training feature that's very specific to the Edge series, just for road biking or mountain biking, whatever. It creates a training plan, and it gives you a suggestion daily on what you should train to keep you in a healthy riding schedule. Also, the Edge 1030 Plus supports power meter, while the 66sr does not support. Again, nowadays power meter has become really popular for a lot of cyclists, so having the ability to record power is kind of an essential feature for any of serious cycling GPS computers. So again, the 66sr is not cycling specific, so it doesn't support the power meter. And however, it does support the speed and cadence sensors as well as the heart rate sensors. So you're covered on that if you just want to do kind of a traditional bicycle touring kind of a ride where you don't really care much about your stats on the road. The 66sr will do the job perfectly fine. It will record your routes. It will display, your heart rate. It will display your cadence and speed if you have the sensor paired, all along with the routes that's recorded. The Edge 1030 Plus, yes, everything relates to cycling is supported in this unit. And the touchscreen, I have to mention that the touchscreen is actually quite useful during cycling. I thought I'm not going to be using the touchscreen as much. However, it is actually very useful. While the button during the rides, it's kind of hard to find all those small buttons and press on it to get to a specific feature. While the Edge 1030, all I have to do is swipe left and right to see all my efforts, during the activity, of course. Right now, all the things I can reach like very quickly just by clicking a few buttons. Now, the Edge 1030 Plus definitely lacks features that's geared towards hiking and outdoor activities. So for example, it's only got activities mainly for cycling. I haven't even tried to set up a profile for I don't know if they have, yeah, obviously they don't even have a profile for like hiking, for any other kind of outdoor activity, boating, whatever. But on the 66SR, you do have those very specific profiles that's pre-set up, and you can customize those profiles as well. But for the 1030 Plus, it's very specific to bike riding. It doesn't support hiking. I guess later on, if I need to do hiking, I would get another hiking computer, or I could just use my phone. And since I don't really hike as much as me biking, I bike almost every day. So I think the Edge 1030 Plus, for me, for cycling purpose, it's definitely very purposely built, very easy for cycling use. So that is the reason I'm selling the 66SR and keeping the 1030 Plus. And on the 1030 Plus, just at the very end, today I did a 34-mile group ride. With that group ride, I had the ability to actually load the course from my riding group. So they actually post a cycling course on their page every time there's a group ride. So I downloaded that profile and I imported it to the Edge, like super easy. The 1030 Plus, basically the profile downloaded, I can just pretty much drag and drop into the courses folder, and it automatically creates or saves that course in the Edge for me. There are 2 ways of downloading courses, actually 3 ways. You can push it from the Garmin Connect website. You can drag and drop from your file explorer, and you can sync using your Garmin Express, like a PC or a Mac application on your desktop. So 3 ways. Now on the 66SR, it does not support course, so that's another downside for cycling. So the only thing it supports is kind of a saved track. So right here, so the only thing it supports is a saved track. Now the tracks are different than the courses, because the tracks, I think, lacks some of the features, like that's what I think, but I'm not entirely sure. It lacks some of the features of a course for cycling purpose. So if you guys know the difference between the track and the course, definitely let me know. But the big downside for the tracks is I cannot create a course in Garmin Connect and push it directly onto the 66SR because it doesn't support course. So any course I create in Connect, I have to export it in a different format, the TCX format, I believe, and then export that TCX file somewhere onto the computer using the File Explorer, drag and drop, and it would show up here. So that is the difference. And I believe the tracks actually lacks turn-by-turn alarms when you're actually riding. So last time I tried, I loaded up a track and I started riding on that track using the navigation feature while tracking my activity on my bike. The GPS was able to display the track that I saved. However, there is no turn-by-turn beeping like on the track. So if I miss a turn, I never know I missed a turn. And if I'm following the track, there's a turn, it doesn't beep and tell me, there is a turn coming up. While on the courses, any of those turns, the Garmin is calculating and letting me know, like way ahead of the time, there is a turn and I should turn, and it turns on the beeping. So that is something that I find, really lacking on the 66SR for the cycling purpose. However, for hiking, this is of course the king for any kind of hiking activity, because it's got so much options for hiking. It's got the altimeter, it's got the elevation chart, and it's also got like everything you can imagine for outdoor, for hiking. This thing supports. Right now, all the icons you see, I actually turned off quite a lot of icons. I removed quite a lot of icons, some extra features that I've never used specifically for hiking. It's all in here, okay? So, and again, the battery life, it lasts longer than the Edge 1030 Plus because it's got a bigger battery. And so again, if you guys are serious about riding your bike, tracking all the activities, on your bike, you guys definitely want a Edge series of computers. You don't have to get an Edge 1030 Plus, Edge 830, Edge 530, all does exactly the same. The only reason I got 1030 Plus is because I'm kind of spoiled by the large screen on the 66sr, and I want a large screen on my bike as well. Otherwise, I would have got the 1030, the 830, and it's pretty much the exact same feature set at the 1030 Plus, just a smaller screen. So at the very last, I'll go on to the Garmin Connect, and I'll show you guys a couple of the features that the Edge series does, where the Garmin GPSMap series does not. Okay. All right, so here on my desktop, you guys can see two of the rides that I've done with two different cycling computers. So on the left side, this is the ride that I just did today. It's a 34-mile ride with a group, and on the left side, on the right side, is the ride that I did by myself near my house. So as you can see, compare from the very beginning, this is done with the 1030 Plus, and this is GPSMap 66sr. Both of those records the basic stuff, the distance, the time, average speed, and elevation gain. It's all recorded really nicely. And in the map, of course, it shows you the different speeds that you ride, and the current temperature and the wind. The temperature is actually based on your location. This is not the actual temperature that it records in the GPS unit itself, because I'll show you guys in a little bit. So scrolling down to those graphs, as you can see again over here, for the first three, no difference. I paired both GPS unit with my heart rate sensor, so it's recording the elevation, recording the speed, and the heart rate. Now, if you scroll down a little more, you can see there are two graphs that the GPSMap 66sr is not recording, which is the respiration rate. Over here there's no respiration rate, and also the temperature. And because the Edge 1030 Plus actually had a built-in temperature sensor, it's able to record the actual temperature of the GPS unit itself. And you can see there are some temperature gain over here. That's because I put it in my pocket, so the temperature rises quite a lot. And as soon as I put it back, it starts to record the actual temperature right away as well. And over here on the GPSMap 66sr, nope, it does not have those features. And it actually looks quite empty here. So let's scroll down. And over here, you see there are some features again that's missing from the 66sr, which is the training effect. That's one of the things that's supported by the Edge, where it's not supported by the 66sr. It's very cycling specific. So there you go. That's one thing that's missing. Respiration rate over here, there is a recording where it does show in the bar graph or the chart, where this one it doesn't. And also, interestingly, it does not calculate, the 66sr does not calculate my calories at all. I don't know what's going on, but I thought it would automatically calculate my calories based on the distance and my heart rate, but it actually doesn't. I've did a few rides already, it doesn't calculate the calories at all. So some other stuff that's missing. Let's see. And I think that's pretty much the difference. Some of the essential stuff, that it's essential stuff for cycling that the 66sr just does not do. So again, if you guys are thinking about riding on your bike a lot, I would highly suggest just get a Edge cycling GPS, because you'll be so much happier with the features and the ease of use while on your bike, compared to using a hiking dedicated GPS like the 66sr. The SR, again, it's very feature packed. It supports tons of features. it's just not cycling specific, okay? The Edge, it's not as feature packed. Actually, the only thing it does is probably anything cycling related. If you go out of cycling, this GPS unit is pretty much useless. But that's a difference, and that's a decision that you guys have to make yourself on which of those machines that you're gonna get. So I hope you found this comparison video helpful. I did this because this is very specific to me, that I find out, you know, if you do a lot of biking, do not get the 66sr, do not get a hiking computer. Just get a Edge. Any Edge is going to be better than the hiking computer, okay? So questions, comments, feel free to ask me in the comment section down below. Otherwise, I hope you found this comparison video helpful, and if you did, please do hit the like button or subscribe, and I would highly appreciate it. Thanks again, and take care, guys. See you in the next video.